Hi guys, this week I have got a book series for you, and it is written by an author who is of South African origin, and he sets his novels mainly in South Africa. He's a favorite of mine. I'm talking about Wilbur Smith. He has written around 42 novels, and there are three book series that he has written. One is called the Courtney Series, the second is called the Ballantine Series, and the third is the Ancient Egypt Series. So Wilbur Smith writes about characters who are larger than life. They're very vibrant, and they're all the main protagonists are driven by intense emotions like rage, and jealousy, and passion, love, ambition. But one thing that binds them all together is that they're all survivors. They survive against all kinds of insurmountable odds. You'll think that they will be beaten down by what fate has in store for them, but you find them scrabbling out of wherever they have fallen and coming up. And it's so satisfying to read such books. I love reading such books. And Wilbur Smith packs a lot of history into whatever he's writing. As a backdrop of the characters' lives playing out, you see what happens in South Africa over the centuries, the rise of the ANC, the Boer Wars, the First World War, and what effect it has. So in many ways it's very enjoyable. So today I'm going to talk to you about the Courtney series, and the Courtney series spans across 17 books. And the funny part is that Wilbur Smith did not write this chronologically. He first wrote When the Line Feeds, and then later he started taking characters and from the Courtney family and making stories for them, creating backdrops and interlinking them back into the main narrative. So it is really interesting, but now we can read it according to the order. We can read it as three sections. The first section has three books, and it follows the life of Sean Courtney. And Sean Courtney has a brother called Garrick, and there is intense rivalry between Garrick and Sean, mainly from Garrick's side, and how this plays out and how this influences the decisions that they make in life, and the women who come into their lives, and what they do to get ahead. And so Sean and Garrick Courtney are the main protagonists, and you see their lives playing out over these three books. So that is the first section. Then the second section has got my favorite character. It's Centane the Theory Courtney, and she is this kick-ass woman. She is pregnant and widowed, and she finds herself shipwrecked on the coastline of Namibia, one of the loneliest coastlines of Africa in those days. And she is rescued by Bushmen. And she survives. She learns to survive in the Kalahari Desert with their help, and they teach her what to do and how to live. And later, the tragic fate of these Bushmen spur her to take certain decisions which have far-reaching effects on her life and also on the lives of her future generations. So we find Centane the Theory Courtney, this amazing woman who overcomes all kinds of obstacles, and she becomes the founder of this massive conglomerate called the Courtney Enterprises, and then her descendants. So the second section is the second section. The first one was about Sean and Garrick Courtney. So Centane is Sean Courtney's daughter-in-law, and there are illegitimate children and their rivalries. So many things happening, and very, very beautifully written, and the narration, and you get a feel of the land and what happens there and the passions that drive these people. So the second section is Centane the Theory Courtney and her successors. And now we come to the third sequence. And actually, chronologically speaking, the third sequence falls somewhere in the beginning. It's the late 17th century, early 19th century. This talks about the ancestors of the Courtneys before Sean and Garrick Courtney. But it helps to read this last. You get an idea of the Courtney family, the intense passions in the family and what drives them, and so you have an idea of what this family is going to turn out to be. So it's quite thrilling to read the third section and find out what their ancestors were doing. So these are the three sections of the series called the Courtney series, and it's a very, very enjoyable read. So go and read Wilbur Smith and tell me how you found it. And if you've already read it, if you read it long back, reread it and enjoy the beautiful lives, the very interesting lives of these characters. And I will see you again with more information about books, and I hope you please start reading. Please DM me if you have anything to tell me about Wilbur Smith or anything to tell me about books. So we'll meet again. Till then, bye.